Rick, how do you set the drawbars? How are you? Tell me about this exactly. Hold on, Pavel. Can you see him do it?
Yeah, not if you stand in front of.
Okay, I won't stand there. Okay. Okay, so.
Well, first of all, there's probably a volume control on the Leslie, which I would have flat out, so you got that little bit of distortion.
Yeah.
Which you don't get.
Should we turn it up a little bit? Can you guys turn it up so we can get some distortion?
So I would have a bit of a mixture of the different harmonics that come out. I would always have it'd be roughly around about that. And over here, I would have, gosh, it's years since I played plugin. That would all be on.
And you'd split it between the two keyboards.
Well, yeah, I'd have a. I mean, it wouldn't. I wouldn't have much going on here. More than anything else, it'd be to balance out the hands so you had something to work with.
Yeah, something to kind of play off of, right?
So you'd have a. And I'd probably almost have a kitchen sink out for the solo, so when it's in and around the lake. So fine. You do that. And,
Rick, you improvise that, though, on the spot, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to take a second to talk to you about this channel. This is actually Rick Beato 2. I've had it since the beginning of my main channel, and many of you are not subscribed. As a matter of fact, 87% of the people that watch this channel regularly are not subscribed. So I encourage you to hit the subscribe button on this channel and on my main channel. This will help me get even more of my dream guests and help continue to grow both channels. Thank you.
It wasn't your bog standard thing.
Right.
Yes, always it's something a little bit different instead of. It's got to stick in the B flat in the end. You go. It gave you more to play with up, you know.
Right.
You know, it gave you that bit more to play with. So it was really lovely for me. I can remember doing the solo to this day. It was like being let out the cage. It was, and that's the thing that people didn't understand about. Yes, sometimes people thought it was all very fixed and very regimented and everything it did. It wasn't.
You guys were jamming.
Yeah, I mean, yes, did jam.
Yeah.
It might have not been the jam that you would get normally, but it was our own form of jamming, and it worked. It worked for. I didn't do a lot of Hammond with although I was sitting close to the edge with the solo. Again, that was a one take. That was a one take, because I remember, because it sort of became a bit of a part, because I remember that particular solo in Close to the Edge suffered from what I call the John Entwistle My Generation syndrome.
Okay, which is what?
John was one of my dearest friends. I'm a great friend, and the bass solo in My Generation is one of the classic bass things of all time. And John said it was the bane of his life. He said, because it was a solo.
Right, yeah.
We're in the studio. He said, I did it, and that was it. It became a huge hit. He said, then we go out and we're playing, and he comes to my back, so I do a solo. And people would come and go, played that wrong.
Right.
He said, no, I didn't, it's a solo. No, you played it wrong. It's not that wrong, you didn't play it right. And he said, this happened so many times. People said, even reviewers said, oh, such a shame that John played the bass bit wrong in the, well, he said, so I sat, he said, one day I went, fuck it. He said, and I sat in the hotel with my bass and a little pig nose amp. He said, and I learnt it, what I'd played. He said, that was the only way. And that was when he said, it's interesting. He said, that sometimes when a part, when a solo actually becomes a part.
Right.
It becomes a part of the music. It's no longer a solo. And I had that a little bit with the close to the edge thing, because it was a solo, but I had to learn it. But it was all right. You know, these things happen. But which is why the truth of the matter is, there is no such thing as a solo on record.
Right.
It doesn't exist. It's a feeling of that time.
That's right.
And it is hard.
It becomes fixed in time.
Yeah, so I have a way of cheating around that. Well, not cheating, but a way of dealing with it all, which is, for example, if you take Awaken, the Yes track Awaken, which has a very long church organ solo.
And it's a real church organ,
oh, yeah,
right?
it's a church organ recorded in Vevey in Switzerland.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Which we recorded down the telephone lines to the studio, which was, because Switzerland, of course, preparing for a nuclear war, had great hi-fi telephones buried 60 foot under the ground. You could rent them, so we rented them.
Oh my gosh.
And we recorded this to the studio, which was 9 miles away.
Okay.
In Montreux. Absolutely fantastic to do. And that was great fun to do. But, and that became a sort of a solo which people sort of knew. And the way I decided on stage was that they actually didn't know every note, because I didn't know every bloody note, but there were certain bits that people would remember. I mean, this is not, I haven't got a church organ so there. So long as you got the opening bit right then. John with his little harp. But there were certain bits that you had to get to.
Yeah.
It's just so like. So long as you hit those stepping stones, and I had, when we were doing it with ARW and with the last times I was with Yes, I had, I think there was about 12 stepping stones to get to. And I told, Chris and Alan and see where those stepping stones were, so they would listen out for them. And when they got them, they know, okay, he may go way off the rails here and do things, but he will end up back at, and that's how we always. So it was
amazing.
It was the same every night, but different, which is what I say about the Yes Sonata thing I play, and that's something that I've always worked on. I do it with my own stuff as well. There's stepping stones, and we do it with the Journey and with King Arthur and with the Six Wives, and all the lads know where the stepping stones are. So when you get, and which it makes it fresh every time. I mean, people sometimes think, oh, you play the same notes every night. You don't. That's a big misnomer. But we make you think we do.
Right.
And that's the difference. But I haven't played one of these. In fact, my Hammond that I played Roundabout on is sitting in a private museum collection in Philadelphia. So that's where that is. And I have another C3, which was an American one. I'd say there was an A, B, and C. The A3 was like a church kind of. So this was what they used to call the washstand, the B3, and I had a C3, which was more flat sides and various things. But
are the electronics between the B3 and C3 pretty similar? Exactly the same, right?
Absolutely the same,
okay.
Identical. And I've still got my. It's not been out of its case for 40 years.
Okay.
I don't even know if I got it up and running, whether it will be whether it'll still be working. Because now, you know, with the samples and various things, it's so much easier with.
Yeah.
And the problem with these on the road, they're brilliant, but on the back of each one of these drawbars is the electric wire, or and they break.
Yeah.
So you'd arrive at a show, pulled out the, you know, you pulled out I don't know, so you should hear this, and you go, and all you're hearing is the percussion instead of that.
Right.
So you go, so they'd have to take the back off and soldering all the wires. So nowadays, when you want to make life, you want to get as authentic sounds as you can, but you want to make life as easy as possible, because the crews have to work so hard, the technicians. So, you know, these, you know, if you're in a fixed place for a little while, I mean, my son, Adam, who plays with Ozzy Osbourne things, and you can't